Hi, and welcome to 647. 6 stories for 7 a.m. because there's a famine of truth in our land. And this is your quick news fix. And the truth starts now. Well, I want you to know something. Today was special for me. Okay, I got to go to my church this morning, Grace Christian Church, and sit in the gymnasium of Grace Christian School and watch, along with 1,000 other people, Governor Ron DeSantis, his compelling wife, Casey DeSantis, his equally compelling Lieutenant Governor, former Green Beret, Jay Collins, crowd hero of the pandemic, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, somebody I've been following from the time I was up in New York City, and Education Commissioner Stacey Kamoutsas. Florida held the line when vaccine madness and mask mandates were desiccating all hopes and dreams from the lives of young people and children across America. Florida was the one light of sanity in a dark Orwellian void of elite power addiction run amok. Ron DeSantis masterfully retold this unthinkable narrative from our all too recent past. Casey DeSantis, in the midst of this mayhem, was giving birth and dealing with the discovery of breast cancer. She said over and over that she just wanted the facts so that she could make informed choices for her family, informed consent to what the medical establishment was offering her. The overwhelming sad truth is that none of us can get the facts to make informed choices. They have all been expunged from the storehouses of medical information on the web by big tech and big pharma. This is the backdrop for Dr. Ladapo's wonderful announcement that he and Governor DeSantis are going to remove all vaccine mandates in the state of Florida. The crowd roared to its feet when it heard this, yelling and clapping for a number of minutes that their pleas had been heard. These 5 leaders were impressive. They were impressive in their sincerity. They were impressive in their openness and in their heartfelt dedication to service, and all spoke in reverence of God to a largely believing audience. They spoke for 2 solid hours, and it was remarkable. God bless them. All right, take 2. $20 billion in gold bars to save the planet and placate Gaia. On his way out the back door of the Biden fiasco, Sleepy Joe had $20 billion in gold bars sent to lefty groups. Let's be honest, he couldn't coordinate all that. He wouldn't know what was going on. It's Obama and his minions doing this. $20 billion in gold bars sent to lefty groups working on climate projects. The idea was to create a green bank to protect the planet. Well, Secretary of the EPA Lee Zeldin says it was actually to create a slush fund to pay lefty activism to slow down the Trump administration. Who knew? So the climate groups sued the EPA for the gold. Tuesday, a divided appeals court ruled 2-1 favoring the EPA. Shocker. I'm shocked. It now goes to federal claims court where the greenies have to make a case for monetary damages. And that's all they can get is monetary damages. How about make them show proof of how they've improved the planet with this 25-year, trillion-dollar grift? They can't show anything because it's all a big joke. All of this, USAID and all of it, they are just giant pools of our tax money taken from paychecks so that these kleptomaniacs can run around and try to tear apart our country. Everyone involved in this stuff has to go to jail at a minimum. All right, take 3. U.S. factory orders show steady demand. I waded through this economic report. Wow, is it dry. I'm doing it so you don't have to. So I'm just giving you the figures and a quick summation because this is painful. But the numbers aren't painful. They should give us all optimism. U.S. factory orders show steady demand. Aircraft orders are up 139.2% year to date. That's great. Machinery orders increased 1.8% in July. Electrical equipment orders rose 2% in July. Total durable goods orders are up 7.3% from this time last July. So compared to last year at this time, they're up 7.3%. Transportation orders are up 1.9%. And factories added 41,000 factory jobs in July. All these gains over 1 month mean that people are investing in businesses. Worldwide, the economy sucks because world leaders think that war and creating budget-busting debt are the way to grow economies. They get rich, young people die, and our great-grandchildren will be buried in debt. You know what? When you hear all these people talking trash about Donald Trump and his tariffs and his deal-making, he's got a great plan. And honestly, there's no other alternative to this plan. He's just the only guy who thought it up because he's looking historically at what has worked before. And he was here in 2016, and despite them putting him in a 360-degree firing range, he was still able to get a hell of a lot done and have a lot to show for a highly distracted 4 years. So his plan is going to work, and don't listen to the specialists. All right, take 4. Rom-com Emanuel living in reprobate fantasy land. So Rahm Emanuel, the former Chicago mayor, that's Rahm never let an emergency go to waste, Emanuel, wrote an opinion piece for the Wall Street Journal Sunday, this past Sunday, in which he says police officers were killed during the Jan 6 Fedsurrection. This is the reprobate mind, right? They all say this, that 6 police officers were killed. No police officers were killed. That has been corrected. It's been negated, but they can't get off it. So Rahm is sticking to it because if it serves his purposes, he can flip from defunding the police to backing the blue. Whatever occasion it serves him, he flips back and forth with the ease of a gymnast. His piece was an attack on Trump, claiming that domestic obsession over delousing government institutions of their blue mold has weakened Trump's ability to confront China. He's worried that Trump's going to be weakened in his confrontation of China. Another political cartwheel. Rahm goes for the big laughs over his concern about confronting China. This guy is a riot. All right, take 5. Erdogan is coming to New York City. That's what I'm telling you. Erdogan is coming to New York City, and it means something where we are right now in this whole transition of our country. So what does Erdogan mean? Well, there are several interpretations. In Danish, it means who dropped the soap. And in Ukrainian, it simply means bend over. And in Serbian, it describes the expression when the insane ravages the confused. So those were hints that the jackals have found their prey. Erdogan is nowhere spelled backwards. Nowhere is where the broken-minded, the reprobate-minded elites with generational inheritance go to be like the cool elites in Los Angeles. So we're talking $21 smoothies, $18 cold pressed juices. Erdogan will be an elite mini grocery inside Kith Ivy, an elite wellness lifestyle club with a $36,000 membership fee, where swells can play the next new racket sport, padel. It's played with a padel. Think pickleball, played in a handball court, but way more precious. I know you don't get it. But this is what you do right before you hand over your city to a spoiled, brat, Marxist, Muslim lunatic who is on track to be your mayor. You play padel, like paddle, but way more special. You just wouldn't understand. All right, take 6. Colbert is back. Snore, right? This is part of our ARMS study, the Advanced Reprobate Mind Studies. We're studying Stephen Colbert. He definitely has the reprobate mind. It's broken. Stephen Colbert is back after a month off. And the biggest story for him and for all the libtards over the entire Labor Day weekend was rumors that Trump had died. I'm serious about this. It was everywhere, right? You all were off playing and recreating. I'm looking all over the newscape and I'm stumbling over this absolutely ridiculous nonsense that Trump is dead. So I'm serious. This is how reprobate minds function. So just for fun, I thought that I would track Trump for the week heading into Labor Day. And I thought this would be an easy day, right? It should be easy enough to find out where Trump is every day for a week. Yeah, so wrong. Absolutely so wrong. And this was the first thing I wanted to put together for 647 for the Thursday show. And it was a nightmare. Anyway, I have it, and let's get to it. So, first point, Trump had an amazing televised cabinet meeting on Tuesday, August 26. 3.5 hours. We didn't get to watch it for all that time. But it was the longest cabinet meeting in history, and they're absolutely fascinating to watch because all of these cabinet members are there, and they're all doing 100 things. And so you hear them talking about it in detail, and you know that stuff is getting done. And there's no way to know it in that way. And it's never been done before, televised cabinet meetings. Are you kidding? No other regime would do that. And Trump, he's just there firing it. What is he, 79 years old now? Each one of these cabinet secretaries is all over their material. He's all over everybody's material. He's calling out little fun things in the contracts and everything. This guy's just absolutely amazing. That was Tuesday, August 26th. So then on Wednesday, August 27th, did he drop dead? No. He held a meeting at the White House on plans for post-war Gaza with former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair and Trump's son-in-law, Ivanka's husband, and they were both participating. And he was, again, firing on all cylinders, not even a cough. All right. So that was Wednesday, August 27th. Thursday, August 28th, photographers are at the White House. They're taking candid shots of him because he's getting ready to go play golf at his golf course in Virginia. And so for Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday, he's going to commute. He leaves just before 9, and he's back in the mid-afternoon, most of the time around 3:30. So on Thursday, the 28th, photographers at the White House took candid photos of him, and he's loading his equipment in or handing it to people, and they're putting it in these big black SUVs, and then the motorcade departs for his golf course in Virginia. And Trump also posted, it's remarkable for a dead guy, go play golf and post on Truth Social about the scum that is trying to destroy our country. Those are his words, the scum. Love the guy. Okay, and he's not dead yet. All right, on Friday, August 29th, Reagan Reese of the Daily Caller comes to the White House and interviews Trump in a really great interview that lasts for 54 minutes. And he wasn't nodding off. He wasn't confused about anything. This was no Biden interview. This was full-on Trump, just back and forth exchanges and a great energy to it. It was great. Not dead. All right, Saturday, August 30th, Trump photographed with his granddaughter, Kai, loading all their golf stuff in. She's a great golfer. He loves to play golf with her. And they head off to the golf course in Sterling, Virginia. And I guess they're playing dead guy golf. He must give her a few holes. I don't know. It's a new sport. So Sunday and Monday, Trump commuted from the White House to his golf course in Sterling, Virginia, the Trump National Golf Club. And every day he left at 9 a.m. and then everyone's snapping pictures of him. And then he's back by 3:30 and they're all there snapping pictures again. Okay. These are libs doing all this work, right? But somehow Stephen Colbert and every goofball in his studio audience did not get the message. So full days with world leaders on Tuesday and Wednesday, September 2nd and 3rd, and all the reporting was off on this. This was the shocker to me, okay? And I was pissed getting started on this thing because I thought, hey, this will be an interesting story, a little bit funny. I'll knock it off 10 to 15 minutes. Well, it took me 70 minutes, okay? Because days and dates were wrong. Places where all different news sources had him pegged were all in conflict. It was just journalistic slop. But we're not doing journalistic slop. Okay, we're bringing you 647. You can't get this anywhere else because everybody believes that you can't handle the truth. But we know that you can handle the truth if somebody will just tell it to you. And that's my job. What's your job? Your job is to like us Your job is to share us. You got to network us with your friends. You got to man up and share this kind of thing. I know it's a little strange. People may find me offensive. There are people who email me and all caps, stop. I got it. I don't need to be loved by everybody. I don't need to be loved at all. I just need you to get over this famine of truth and know what the heck is going on. So it's Glide Slope Thursday. I can't believe it. This is a short week. You people shouldn't even be paid. You were off goofing around and you've been here a couple days and it's already got Glide Slope Thursday. What do? You give it one notch of flaps. You push the yoke forward. You get that nose just heading down. And now you're on track to take it right through to the weekend. And I'm on track to take the message straight to the Lord God Almighty, because he blessed me in that gymnasium this morning. I was all in there to see politicians being politicians, and I saw none of it. None of it. I saw wonderful people trying to do the best that they can with that terrible legislature in Tallahassee. Good God, Donald Trump, send the Marines down there. Don't let that go on unchecked, and don't let them hold these people hostage to all these wonderful changes they want to make in public health. Please, dear God, put your hand over all these folks. Bless them with your omniscience. Bless all these folks that are at work today. I know because you blessed me today that God is going to bless you. So let's get to it. Take his blessing and run with it. I'm going to.